going through cards and little moments and trinkets from the kids over the years. Love you, Dad. Happy Father's Day, 2016. Happy birthday, Dad. 34. It's love when they're sad that they don't have their little sister Sophia at home. Until recently, I haven't actually started looking at colors of people. As ignorant as that may fucking sound, it's just reality. And the way the world is spinning and turning, I see a very dangerous situation for my kids, biological kids, as well as all the other kids that are mine. And it sucks because they're going to fight each other. They're going to be angry at each other. They're going to have guilt and resentment and frustration. And we're not doing anything to try to structure it in a better manner that's easier for them to navigate an incredibly complex life. And that's just all the shit inside this nation, inside this world that they live in. This is what they get. When we die, they inherit the shit show that we leave them. So how good of a job are we doing? What kind of stewards are we doing? Ignorant stewards, if you ask me. Ignorant, myself included. Just look at the comment I literally just made about it. I haven't really started paying attention to race. When I was younger, I had black friends and Filipino friends, and late 90s, early 2000s, the N-word it meant something completely different in those circles. And I was a brother. I was a man of color. I didn't get that until they started talking to me and calling me nigga. The ER wasn't allowed in our group. We referred to each other that way because we trusted each other, we looked at each other as brothers, and we all had fucked up struggles that we had to endure, and as part of that, we identified. When I had moments where people would call me camel, jockey, towelhead, Salim, I went to my brothers and I voiced my frustration. I've always identified with people of color, specifically women, because I'm a natural flirt and I have a very feminine energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you kind of blur the lines and nobody knows what's right, what's wrong, what's indifferent, what's indignant, what's ignorant. Now we are promoting racial division and frustration. We're promoting all of these weird ideologies. And as the biracial guy who's in an interracial relationship with a beautiful white woman who just happens to give me 3 beautiful daughters, they're in a clusterfuck because they look white. They don't look like kids of color. Yet, if you take a look at their last name, you take a look at the cultural identity that they've been exposed to, they're a very American family with an Indian last name that sounds incredibly Korean or Chinese. I don't know how it's supposed to fucking work. I don't get it. All I give a shit about is doing something to try to take care of my kids and having a conversation with other parents who have similar situations. My mom is white and Irish American. My dad is Punjabi Indian. He is from Punjab, India. She's from Missouri. They're from 2 different worlds, and they had 5 kids. And irrelevant of the structure that I had growing up, none of that matters because half the shit that I had growing up isn't relevant in the world we live in today. So I gotta go with what I have to work with. And what I have to work with is a series of pictures, Snoopy, that I get to look back on as I have these conversations with myself and in my head and remind me why we need to have these conversations. Am I gonna offend people with what I'm saying and probably what I'm doing? I'm more than likely I will. Am I going to lose relationships? I already have, and that's before I even open my mouth. I slightly open my mouth and someone gets offended. Then I don't think I can have a genuine or authentic enough conversation to express my opinion or concerns in a constructive manner with that individual. So they got to go. And in this case, it's not about getting rid of people. I think it's about adding people. It's about finding something that probably does exist out there. It's just not really talked about because everybody's in this political correctness firestorm where you gotta walk on eggshells. That doesn't make a lot of fucking sense. But we're all gonna be beige soon, motherfuckers. We're all gonna be beige. Get that. Everybody will. And at that point, it doesn't fucking matter what color your skin is, your cultural background, your ethnicity. There's going to be another weird set of fucking metrics that somebody else is going to make up and impose on the rest of us. So who gives a shit? At this point, enjoy your time, have fun, try not to offend as many people as you can while also being genuine and authentic. And that's an incredibly difficult ask to have someone do and perform. Like, be you. Just don't piss anybody off. Okay. That's a difficult conversation. That's a different one to structure. And as I'm going through these pictures, it just shows me the evolution of my kids, and it reminds me of the evolution of us. And when I met my wife, I had a very different outlook on race and my role as a man, her role as a woman, equality, X, Y, Z. Like, I was a different person to who I am now today, and I'm a completely different person. And who I'm going to be in the future will be a completely different person. I don't think anybody truly, genuinely stays the same, you know, and unless you have a very strong, motivating reason to. My opinion has always been to grow and to evolve and to develop, really. I mean, that's kind of what we do. That's how life works. Don't believe me? Just take a look at the kids. They start small, they get bigger, they learn more, they get bigger, they learn more, they get bigger, they learn even more. I'm still learning. You know, I'm learning how to be a dad, still learning how to be a husband. I'm relearning a lot of certain things, and it can be frustrating and difficult, you know, but you got race, and that's just like the individuality. So you got multiple races, and their product is a biracial child who now lives an interracial lifestyle, because I straddled the platforms between being white-ish, between being brown-ish, not really giving a shit either one, because I don't feel like either one's truly accepted me for who I am, because they don't know who the fuck I am, because I don't know who the fuck I am, so nobody else can know who I am. And there's going to be a lot of salty language. Maybe I'll tone it down a notch or two. We'll see. Probably not, being honest. So, I don't know. Just a random thought. I don't know how the fuck this YouTube thing is going to work, if this thing's going to get taken down, or if people are going to get offended. So, I guess it's up to you guys what happens next. We'll see, kids.